Rugby League is back. Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring thing.
Oh, no.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is Karl. That is Paul Mawate. Paul, underdogs reign supreme
Boy, oh boy.
in the NRL.
Yeah. And my wallet is empty. Yeah. What looked like a fairly straightforward split round turned out to be not so. Unless, of course, you were back in the Dogs. And then everything turned up roses. So, yeah, just, I guess, one to sort of put a line through, move on, and hopefully get back in the positive this weekend.
Speaking of positive, Nick Tedeschi. Teddy, how was the week?
It was a tough week on the punt. There were a few, all underdogs, but managed to find a couple. Managed to not find most of them. So that Roosters game really ruined the weekend for me. I was chips in the over, chips in the minus, and it could not have looked less likely the entire match. It was just a one goal. So, but for me, the highlight, Canterbury absolutely going up to Newcastle and destroying the Knights. I was all over them, and that was a very good result for the punt, but for where the Bulldogs were at. I thought it was real positive to not only go up there and eke out a win, but to go up there and absolutely thump them, to overcome some injuries, to overcome the stitch up that is Origin. They've done well.
They have, and we'll get to it later on in the pod, but there are some, I think, questionable lines and markets sort of favourites this week. I think there's some money to be made.
Oh,
it's a hard week, Karl, to make that call on a Wednesday. And well, first glance, I tend to agree. There's so many changes, and I'm never one to advise to gamble responsibly, but you need to really gamble responsibly at this time of year. And when I say gamble, this is not a time to be betting early. Unless you've got some solid information that someone's in or out, it's very hard just to be overly committed. Like, I've got things I like, and we'll talk about all the bets we like and whatnot. Yeah, that could be totally flipped on its head if 3 of the Origin players don't back up for a team, So, just be wary over the next 6 weeks, because this is the dead zone for punting. And just like you're going to see weeks like last week, where you think you know it's going to go, and all of a sudden James Tedeschi has been called to Origin, and your line's cast. And it's a debacle. These things happen all the time. Like, you're not going to know until, at least going to have the decency this week to not know Nico Hines. Whether Reece Walsh plays, well, we're not going to know till an hour before the game.
There are some games, though, I think, for some teams, Warriors, Bunnies, Dogs, who are either not affected at all or less affected, who seem like some value this week.
Can we just go back to that? Hold on a minute. So Edwards gets injured. Tedesco gets called in.
Don't start me, Paul.
Matt Burton, 18th man. What? Why have an 18th man? Well, have an 18th man. Let him play for his club.
Why have an 18th, 19th, or 20th man if you're going to bring a 21st man in to fill the position?
It's nonsensical.
Why let the 19th and 20th man play and not the 18th man? Honestly, what is the Roosters have to play on Thursday? So Tedesco plays that weekend, and he's then playing Origin. Burton can't play that week, and is not playing Origin. Absolute stupidity. Of all the things that the NRL do that are just so blindingly dumb, that this has to be up there. Poor Matt Burton. He wasn't going to. He was told he wasn't going to come in if Nico was hurt. He was told he wasn't going to come in. He didn't come in if Edwards was hurt. Who the hell is he replacing?
That's a very good question.
How was he not on the team ahead of Lee anyway?
I know. When one society likes rugby union and the other doesn't, I think that's pretty fair point of who should be playing.
All right. I was
Glad I could cheer you up there, Teddy.
Thanks for the layup.
I was going to do divided opinion, but we'll move on this week because I think that little Origin Burton chat will cover it. Paul, we're going to go straight to a betting recap. If
Okay.
you've got it
Yeah.
there for us, please.
Right, let's go. I don't think Surly sent anything through.
He did not, and I haven't had anything from him this week. So, Surly, if you're listening, this is
Look,
out of character. I hope you're okay. What's going on?
I have not taken $100 away from him. I've just left it blank for now.
I'm going to text him right now and see if he can work on the fly. This is highly unprofessional of me, but
okay. So in terms of Blake, I did take $100 away from him because both of his multis failed. He had Eels, Panthers, head-to-head, and Roosters minus 19.5, 80 on there. And then he had Raiders plus 4.5 into the Knights 1-12. So no good for our good friend Blake Ashford.
shout out the Knights.
Karl, I think I took $100 away from you as well.
Yeah, tough week for Karl.
You had the Dogs plus and the Sharks plus, unfortunately. And
Almost got a backdoor there, Karl.
Yeah.
And then a four-way try-scoring same game.
Yeah, thanks the Roosters.
Is it a refund because Teddy wasn't playing?
Sorry?
Yes.
Teddy in the...
Yeah.
That's a refund, isn't it?
Yeah, but I took the $30 off.
Oh.
But okay, I'll reframe that one. That's just yeah.
Thank you, Teddy.
That's a zero.
Always here for you, Karl. Always here for you.
Appreciate that.
And that's a good note, actually, Teddy. If you have a scratching in a same game multi, the whole thing is wiped and you get your stake back, regardless of.
As a punter, sometimes that works for you beautifully and you love seeing that money refunded. And when you get the other three legs, you find out you've been refunded, nothing causes you more grief. You probably win in the long run, but gee, those bad ones sting.
Especially if the scratching was like $1.20 shot and everything else was $2 plus.
Oh, big.
Breaking news, Surly is working on some tips for this week now.
Okay, good. Right, Teddy, not a successful weekend. Roosters 13 and over into the over 51.5. As you said towards the beginning of the show, could not have been further from the truth. And I think you had was it an anytime try scorer?
Yeah, this got up. Paul Alamonte.
Yes.
That was more successful than every other one.
Correct.
How much did I have on that, Paul?
You had $20 on that at around $3.15.
Yeah, that's right.
And then me, minus $100. I had the try bingo, numbers 1 to 13. I think we needed.
How close were you?
We needed
8
and 13 on Sunday. So Jared Wowera, Hargraves.
Not a lone try scorer.
Thomas McHaley got over the line. He dived
Yes.
over a hit one, but knocked it on cold.
So that didn't hit. And then I had the Roosters minus 19.5, Raiders plus 4.5. No good. So, yeah, we move on.
Just on bingo. If you're not doing it every week, you're not having a go. It is the most fun bet to have out there. If you're with a group of mates, it is absolutely elite.
Tick them off as they come through.
Tick them off.
Tick.
Yeah.
No,
I don't need another fullback.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what, though, you really become very bitter when reserves, when interchange players, and especially interchange players who start in a position that is replacing one of your numbers, like someone starting for a Mark Nichols and a 15 and they're scoring. Oh, drives me nuts.
What a time to be alive.
Oh, yeah.
Try scoring bingo.
Love the bingo.
I will say on our tipping this week, look, we were due an off week. We've had a heck of a run.
I've had an off season
collectively.
Rocky.
But we will be back. As I said, this week could be the week. Stick with us. Tipping myself, Blake, and Teddy all into the top 45 of the tipping comp. Didn't bother to look for you, Paul.
Thank you.
And the games last week, as I said, underdogs reigned supreme. They won every single game. The Eels, the Dogs, the Dragons, the Raiders, and the Cowboys all won
I
games.
think the Eels were favourites, weren't they?
Oh, they were. Sorry, they shouldn't have been. But wow, maybe they should have been. I feel like they were underdogs.
Well, they should have been underdogs. But I do recall backing the Sharks at a decent odds against price.
Yes. Teddy, what game would you like to talk about?
I'm going to talk about Dogs Knights. We focused on the Dogs a bit before, and I thought it was a really courageous performance to go up there and win. And I think kind of a real line in the sand for where Canterbury are at as a club going forward. Like they're just the first away win of the year. Yeah, they did it without some of their big names. It was impressive. But I want to talk more about Newcastle. What a fraudulent team the Knights are. Absolute in those games, like absolute frauds. Like Jackson Hastings, I've never met a player whose mouthiness to talent ratio has been so off kilter. Like it is, other than me myself. So
I was going to say myself, but
like the rubbish he goes on with and the grief he causes his side by doing stupid things. They had a short-handed Canterbury team. They had twice had players in. First time a team has held a team trialist with 2 players bin since 1999. The Bulldogs. So, incredible. But all Hastings did all night, hit the lead runner, hit the lead runner, hit the lead runner. There was absolutely no width. Their skill set is on their edges. Canterbury's weakness is out wide. And they just didn't exploit it. I thought it was poor coaching. I thought the halfback was horrific. And Canterbury have a particularly weak middle, absolutely dominated through the middle. So, huge win for the Dogs. But if you're Newcastle, I'd be looking long and hard at the half situation and the coaching situation.
Nice. Positive look there from Teddy.
I can tell you they've named the same team this week. Roll them out again.
Good luck to them.
Yeah. They're no good. That's right.
Just on that game, is there a more annoying player than Reid Marnie? He does a great job.
It's a matter of perspective, Paul. And
yes,
that's
exactly.
16 clubs, I might be annoyed for him by him, but I can't help but absolutely love him. He's become a bit of a cult hero of the Dogs.
It's not about annoying, maybe niggling.
He's got at least 3 players sim in this year, so he's done very, very well for his team.
He has, yes. He's like a little Jack Russell who's just like, nipping at your bloody ankles and just being a pest. And it's working very, very well for him and for the Dogs.
But at least he's a bloke who makes 50 tackles a game, can find a try assist or 2 and gets out done with half. Unlike Jackson Hastings, who's just a yappy, but not nearly as effective.
And he's had a bit of a revival too, because he had last season he just wasn't quite at that. I don't know if it was he was just getting used to things at the Dogs.
I don't think he handled the captaincy well.
No,
I don't think the responsibility sat well with him because it doesn't sit well with that niggly childish behaviour that kind of annoys everyone else. I think he had to try and be a grown up, and I don't think it worked well for him.
A few of us.
A man after my own heart.
I absolutely hear
that. I thought I'd look at the Dolphins Raiders game just because it had 3 field goals. I love it when you go, a team goes up by a field goal and then next thing you know, bang, one comes back the other way. It sort of reminded me of, was it the Storm Roosters game from a few seasons ago where I think they had 2 or 3 field goals.
27-25. I think Pap kicked a 40-metre one to win the game, didn't
he? Yeah. And there's probably a Warriors game against the Raiders, I think, where Sean Johnson kicked.
Yeah, there was 3 in that game, yeah.
A couple. So I just love those sorts of games. And it was that sort of back and forth sort of game as well. Probably one that the Dolphins, in the end, probably should have won. But, all credit to the Raiders. They stick in there. They don't go away.
It was a great game of football. It was genuine, end-to-end, drama-filled, like great tries, stupid mistakes, swings in momentum. Just as a side, doesn't Dan Ganane just really make those games, like his commentary, like, he's a new Vossi in terms of just like absolute enthusiasm. I love it.
Is there a player more susceptible to the sort of hero to zero and zero to hero than Jordan Rapana in the NRL? In 1 week.
In 1 week, I'll tell you, at about the 65-minute mark, I've gone the 3 Williams for this week. Those are the Williams. It's the reverse Dally M's for the 3 for the worst part of the field. Said 100 Dally M votes go to Jordan Rapana.
It was
He'd have a shocker. He'd have an absolute shocker until he became a hero.
It was a great game for Try Bingo as well. I ticked off a few in that Canberra Raiders Dolphins game. So yeah, no, but it was just a very, very enjoyable game.
And just quickly from me, the Panthers 10-0 at half time, and then Dragons shut them out 22-0 in the second half in terrible conditions. Do we put the Panthers' loss down to their origin affected team? Having said that, like we talked last week saying that the Dragons are probably more affected with their 2 best players out. What I don't really know what to take from this game.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed with the loss, but like you said, the Dragons were severely weakened as well. And they had a 10-0 lead. I think Cleary would be pretty disappointed with how the team put in the second half. Having said that, I think the news about Dylan Edwards had kind of gotten through the club at that point, and I don't think there's a player at a club who's more loved and respected than Dylan Edwards. And I think there'll be plenty of hurt going on about his missing out. I think they knew based on Cleary's.
He just hurt his leg. He didn't die.
No, but like this is how this will play out. If Teddy has a ripper on 1-0, there's a good chance Dylan Edwards never plays Origin again.
Yeah.
Like, this is like that fits into one of those narratives of just like, can you believe you never played Origin? Like, so that's how that could play out. So, but yeah, they were very poor, and they've done a great job over the last 4 seasons of replenishing talent, but finally starting to look like maybe it's getting a little bit thin.
They've lost 2 of the last 3 now to teams well below them on the ladder.
And they were poor losses too. The Warriors, they were very, very poor that day, and they were poor against Australia.
They do have Eagles this week, Knights next week into a bye, and then a reasonably mixed run home, I would say. Interesting time for Panthers fans.
I wouldn't be too worried. They usually come good when Nathan Cleary gets back. They'll be right.
Yeah. Is Nathan Cleary the new Tommy Turbo with hamstring injuries?
I think there's a real worry that he could be.
Mm.
I think we're a bit early to call that just yet, but I don't think it's that far off. I think that's why they're I won't say panicking, but pretty keen to get him to America, get it sorted out.
I bet if you're a team who has got his little brother locked up for a couple of years, you'd be pretty happy right now.
Yeah, they were big when they signed Dean Moore, and I'm sure you guys are big when you signed Jake Cleary.
We are. You
don't even need him. You're up and about. You just keep winning games.
I know.
You'll never get a run.
Gets better this week. All right. Quick game of Would You Rather before we go to the grid. This week, this is a question you may have asked at Magic Round. I can't remember for our social content. But, Teddy, I'll go to you first. You've made a line break. You're into the backfield. You can pass to a teammate for a guaranteed try in the corner to go ahead in a crucial match, or you can go yourself for a 50-50 shot at scoring under the post. What are you doing?
Oh, well, what's the score? Am I down by 4 or down by 6? No.
Let's say 4.
I'm passing. Of course I'm passing. I'm a team man. Not that glory. Also, I don't know if you remember when Felice Kafusi made the break and saw Hamiluni up on the outside and did his hamstring when he kept running. That's me. If I make a line break,
I'd like to know any situation where Teddy's got the ball where it's a 50-50, he's going to score under the post.
I'll tell you when, Paul. When Tom Eisenhuth's chasing me.
I was going to say, what if Tom Eisenhuth is the man outside you?
If he's the one at the side, I'm dummying and going.
If Tom Eisenhuth is across from you, I back you 100%. Especially those first 20 metres, you're pretty confident.
The way he's tackled the last few weeks, I just run straight at him.
What are you doing, Paul?
Passing.
100%. Down by 4.
Passing. I'll kick the goal from the corner as well. Don't worry about that big guy.
Okay.
Daryl Halligan-esque.
It'd be no surprise to both of you that I'm going for it.
The fact that question was even asked meant I knew exactly which way you headed. You act like that was a 50-50 to me. That's like a 95-5. Would you rather?
Absolutely. If I pass it, I'll just throw an intercept. We'll drop it. All right. The grid. Mixed bag for me this week on the grid.
Oh, boy.
Mixed bag.
Across the top, won premierships at different clubs, played for the New Zealand Kiwis, and scored 100 points in a season. Down the left, played for the Storm, played between 98 and 05, and played for Manly. Teddy, your top row.
So I've approached different clubs. The Storm, Justin O'Neill, 11.49. Wasn't great, but I think the minimum score is pretty high there.
Who did he get his second one with? Cowboys. Yeah.
Played for the Kiwis and the Storm. Willie Isa, Unicorn, 0.14.
Holy
nice.
moly.
And 100 plus points in a season, the Storm. Craig Smith, 3.08.
Oh, good get.
I hate this.
I'll go next.
You go.
One premierships, different clubs. Storm. Jeremy Smith, 10 flat.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Played for the Kiwis and Storm. I think he also played a test for the All Blacks. Matt Duffy.
I believe he's one of the great All Blacks. I believe I'm holding up as the fact that Matt Duffy played for the All Blacks. So there you go.
1.31. That was a brain. And 100 points in a season. Storm. Apart from the obvious and Cam Smith, Nick Meaney was the only one I could think of. 6.07.
Oh, jeepers.
Let me guess. Cooper Cronk.
James Maloney, 19.40.
Was that the most you could get in their bracket?
No, it wasn't.
I think Cooper Cronk at 23 was the most you could get.
Oh, yeah.
Richard Swain, 2.12. And Matt Orford, 7.05.
Bit stiff on Richard Swain there. That's a high score for Richard Swain.
Yes.
Middle row, Ted.
Premierships, different clubs, played 98 to 05. Luke Prittis, 5.37. Played for the Kiwis, played that early NRLs. Richie Blackmore, 0.05. Unicorn.
Whoa.
Holy.
100 plus points, played 98 to 05. Joel Sugarcane, Brain, 0.62.
0. What?
62.
Fun fact, I played rugby union against Richie Blackmore under 21s. So there you go.
Did you make a line break and did he run you down?
He fair dinkum smashed me. He was an open side flanker.
He played for the Kiwis and Paul's doing the advantage line.
Yeah. Yeah, doesn't he wish he was? Yeah.
I'm very disappointed that Richie Blackmore played rugby union. That's very upsetting news, to be perfectly honest.
Fun fact: almost every Kiwi NRL player that would have played rugby union at some point, Teddy. Premierships, different clubs, 98 to 05. Luke Lewis, disappointed in that, 9.56. I was Pretty happy with this one. Got a wizard, but not so happy now that Teddy got a unicorn. Matthew Ridge, 0.19.
Oh, excellent game. One of the great sporting biographies of all time. The savagery in Matthew Ridge's biography is truly elite.
If you've read Matthew Ridge's biography, you should also read Mark Ellis's, and that is also truly great. Probably a little bit too much rugby union in there for you, but
Did he play rugby union too?
He played for the All Blacks.
Wow.
And then came to the Wires.
He's one of those guys who just came out of nowhere, like him and John Kerr. And I was just like, these guys are like very old to debut.
Came out of nowhere.
Never heard of these blokes.
Mark Ellis, he scored what, 6 tries in a World Cup match?
Yeah. John Kerr played for the Warriors and got knighted. How good.
Yeah.
I know. Our good friend, the great Grant Nisbet, was completely bemused, but it's completely true. He came from absolutely nowhere as far as I'm concerned. It's like, oh, this guy's not bad. Where's he coming? He looks very old.
100 points in a season, played 98 to 05. Ivan Cleary, brain 0.66.
Lovely.
Paul Fatuira, wizard 2.55.
And just quietly, what are your most common answers, Paul?
100%. Yes, he's my go-to. Leslie Vinacolo, brain 0.45, and Matthew Ridge, unicorn 0.18.
Oh, he's used him in the right spot there.
Good line. What's that?
Oh, that's
wizard brain unicorn.
That's my best. That's my best line ever.
Wow. Excuse me.
That wasn't what I heard on Saturday night.
PG, stop. One bottom row, Teddy.
I found this one brutal, so I'm not sure what the minimum score was. But there's only 4 options. One premiership to different clubs than Manly. I went Joe Nullavow, 25.12.
There were only 4.
4 of them, yeah.
4 answers.
I could only think of one.
We've got 2 of them covered between the 3 of us here. So who are the other 2?
I'm not sure who the other ones were. This was obviously my last one to put in, but it was Struggle Street on that one. Kiwis, Manly. I struggled with this one too. Steve Mackay, 8.65. I should have used Matthew Ridge. Is where I should have gone.
Don't think he would have. I think he
left Manly by
was
98.
before 98. Yeah.
I don't think he played for Manly.
I think he was the Warriors after.
Yeah, I think he's joined the Wars in 98. Yeah.
And 100 points this season, Manly, Brain, Ben Walker, 2.88.
Well, Teddy's absolutely won this week. I went for the only one I can think of, Uppy Sai Coruscant.
That was the only one I could think of as well, other than
42.58.
Can't play with a lot of games. I would have thought Appy's not the answer to put in here. And then when Joe Nullavow got 25, I thought, I can't imagine what Appy must be the 42.
Yeah. Lewis Brown played for the Kiwis and Manly. I was disappointed with this score, 7.53.
That's very stiff.
And then Brent Hodkinson, 7.76.
I went Uppy as well, at 42.58. Wasn't that when Manly decided we won't go with Uppy, we'll go with, was it Fainu? Yeah, great decision. I also went Steve Maddai, 8.65, and I went Michael Witt, 3.17.
Oh, good get.
Michael Witt, ball above the head.
What are they going?
He's memorable.
Give us your total, Ted.
57.4.
Shit, you must have been well and truly inside the top 20.
I don't know in the top 20. I think I'm like top 50 maybe.
I was 50th, and I had 85.7.
I did mine at about 11 o'clock last night, so I might have done it pretty.
I did mine this morning.
Oh wow! Okay, well then I must have been pretty. I must have been high. I used to want to compete against other people. Now I'm just competing against whoever's on this show.
It's not much of a competition.
86.1.
Oh, I still got him.
I got a wizard, brain, unicorn in a row, and I still finished last.
You had to work harder. You had to work off that happy carousel. I would have spent half an hour when I was desperate for sleep trying to work off that happy carousel. It's like, I need someone else. I cannot put happy carousel in you.
All right, let's get into the weekly preview. Before we kick things off, Mawari, a new little segment. I'm going to use your name for this. Mawari's hunch of the week.
Yeah.
Give us a hunch. What do you like this week?
Well, we're going to have to wait till the last game of the round this week because I was walking down Oriental Parade a couple of days ago, and a beautiful day, and there were people out getting coffees, walking their dogs, and I could tell you, I was waiting for my coffee, and the table across from me, there was a group of people, and they had a bulldog sitting with them down there, and I swear he was smiling at me the whole time. So I've got a hunch the Bulldogs are going to make me smile on Sunday. So I'm happy. My hunch is the Bulldogs when they win big against the Parramatta Eels this Sunday. That's my hunch.
I'll tell you what, Paul, your hunch is wrong. I'll tell you why. Because the Bulldogs Parramatta play on Monday. So, so they may make you smile on Monday, but they will not make you smile on Sunday. I can 100% tell you.
I guess it's going to be the reserve grade team that wins on Sunday. Get on the Dogs. Oh, yes.
And remember, you've got till Monday to back them.
Oh, that's too good.
Is it?
Dogs $2.15, Parramatta $1.70.
Is it King's birthday over there this weekend?
King's birthday weekend, yeah. King's birthday weekend.
Right.
Yeah, his birthday last weekend.
Yeah, we've been and done that. Yeah.
How many birthdays does Blank need?
Well, we should go. Let's not get into too much politics here, but why we're honouring King's birthday? Come on, let's move on from that. Let's get a bit of independence, Australia.
Do Queensland have a King Wally birthday, or surely they do something?
The fact they wear thongs every day and don't seem to do a lot of work, I assume that they celebrate it every day.
Shout out to Tom Hackett.
Wow. All right, let's move on before we get fired. Today is Wednesday, 5th of June. Tonight is Origin 1. For those listening beyond today. Sorry, the game's already been played, but I will get some predictions before we move on to this week's NRL game, fellas. So I want to score a winner, obviously, the man of the match, a first try scorer, and a last try scorer. Sorry?
There's a lot to remember.
Yeah, give me a score, Teddy.
I am going to go with Queensland 18, New South Wales 14.
Paul?
2010 Queensland.
22-14 Queensland. For me. Man of the match. Teddy.
I'm going to go with Patrick Carrigan. I don't love the Queensland spine for various reasons. For me, the match did and doesn't have him play a secondary role. I don't think a course suits Reece Walsh down to the ground for him to shine. And the Hunt Grant rotation probably rules both of those two out of man of the match honours. So Cherry's the only one of the spine that can really win it for mine. He's short enough for me. I'll be having something on him, but I think the value, Patrick Carrigan.
I'm going to go slightly outside the box here, and I'm going to go Valentine Holmes at $41 to be man of the match. I think he's going to be instrumental in a number of the Queensland tries. I think he might do something special here. So, and I agree with Teddy.
And hang on, you've got Queensland scoring 20 points. There's only 3 tries.
Yeah, and he may be scoring 1 or 2 of them.
Okay.
Valentine Holmes, he's I know Teddy's. Well, he's look. He hasn't been at the top of his game this season, to be fair. But I think a number of these Queensland players, as soon as they put the maroon jersey on, they just go up a notch or two. Just because that's what happens at this time of the year, and I think that's going to happen to Valentine Holmes tonight. And I think we're going to see him have a big match. And I agree with Teddy. The fact that Harry Grant and Ben Hunt are going to be interchanging, that takes both of them out of the equation, unfortunately. So, yeah, Valentine Holmes.
I am struggling.
But what are you thinking now? I will just say this: that if New South Wales win, you cannot get enough money on James Tedesco being man of the match.
Correct.
Like
Yes,
that
yeah.
is just. So I'll be having a little saver on Teddy there as well for the Blues side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a big one of those games from Tedesco.
A big one of those and a big narrative game as well. Like, yeah.
I nearly said Tedeschi again. That was.
No worries. There's a few of these ones from Tedeschi as well.
I'm going to go Jeremiah Nanai for man of the match, and he is paying
Is it 20s, 30s?
$34. I can see a try out of him. Loves, obviously, very good under the high ball and just running some good lines, some line breaks. A lot of action for Nanai.
I don't know where the points are going to come from New South Wales.
James Tedesco.
They've just got a lot of very, very hard workers there.
Yeah.
In that team.
Yep.
Yeah. Unproven halves combination together. Anyway, we won't spend too much time on that. What else did I want? First try scorer, Ted.
The Hammer. Scored 5 tries in 4 Origin games. Hasn't missed a game without scoring a try. The Hammer.
$12.50. Paul?
Surprise, surprise. Valentine Holmes, $16.
And I will play this with. I'll back my boy Nanai again at $19. Last try scorer.
The Hammer.
Oh, okay.
Back to back. I know there'll be a lot of tries in the Hammer. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. And centres have a remarkable try scoring record the last 5 or 6 years. Centres and wingers in particular, it's really gone to centres lately. And usually I love backing like edge back row that very rarely score much in Origin. I'm chips in the centres. So I'm with Paul on Val. I think he will have a try. I think he's a new Dane Gagai. We'll lift for Origin, but Hammer for me. I love going right, and I'm chips and Hammer here.
$11 for last try scorer.
Selwyn Cobbo, $14.
Yeah.
He's going to get some game time, and he'll be out wide somewhere. And he's very, very hard to stop. So I think against a tiring New South Wales defence late in the game,
Could be out wide on a Hudson Young or a Omolo Olukawato playing in the centres as well, because New South Wales have no backs on the bench.
And those are the two names that I'm tossing up between for last try scorer. I think Queensland will essentially run away with this, and then New South Wales will score one late to bring it a bit closer. So I'll go with Hudson Young, and he loves scoring try. He's paying $19 to score last try. So there's a little prediction. We'll come back next week and have a look at those. But for now, we'll move on to this week's NRL action. The first game, Dragons, $1.38 versus the Tigers, $3.05. I haven't written any notes here, so I'm hoping, Teddy, you can tell us what is what in this game.
Yeah, Dragons won 4 of the last 5 against the Tigers. Gone 24-12, just 8 rounds ago. Underdogs covered 4 straight here. Few key numbers to mind that. Dragons 13-4 against the spread at Wollongong. 4-2 against the spread as a favourite at Wollongong. Numbers certainly stacking up Dragons' way, except for a couple of the ones here that just give me a little bit of pause. Chris Butler's the ref. Tigers 7-0 against the spread under Chris Butler the last 4 years. Bad refs help bad teams seemingly based on that stat. But they've covered just 2 of the last 8, and you saw they're riding 8-game losing streak. Lean the Dragons, but the line's big enough. What do you got? 7.5 there.
7.5. Yeah.
Yeah, it's big enough. So small in the minus. Absolute chips in job though the under. Although chips in's a bit hard, but a big bet the under. 21-8 the under between these two since 2008, and that is saying something. Seeing the Tigers had a reputation for being a leery team who can score and let points in for a lot of that period. The under is 11-6 when the Dragons play at Wollongong, 12-8 when they're favourites, 9-3 when the Tigers are off conceding 40+. So backing the unders hard and the Dragon minus small.
Total in that game 47.5. Do you like anything in this game, Paul?
Oh, crikey. The Tigers have got their own personal butler handling this game. That's enough for me. I'm going the +7.5, the Tigers. That's an amazing stat. And until it changes or until there's a 1 in the other column, I'm happy to ride it.
I can't disagree with you, Paul. Like, it pretty much almost turned me completely around from my initial position. Like, I think I want to be on the Dragons here. Like, yeah, I could be convinced to get on the Tigers.
I'm sure if Blake was here, he'd do his best to convince you.
Blake is loyal to it too.
Fully rested Api Sai Kurasau. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, +7.5. 7-0 under Butler. Cover the line. Oh, let's make it 8-0.
If you're going to miss a game, not watch this week, that's probably the game.
Oh.
Next one, Titans $1.75, Souths $2.10. Souths have won 8 straight, 9 of the last 10. They've won the last 8 by an average of 14.75, and they're 2.5 point outsiders here. Gold Coast have covered 8 straight. I think I got that right. What else have you got, Teddy?
So just a couple of numbers here that put me in the Souths on this one. Teams off a double-digit win prior to a bye cover at 67% the last 6 years. So we'll push for South there. Underdogs cover at 60% when 2 bottom 9 teams play. So the natural starting point here has to be South. I know the Titans have been very good. I've been riding those Titans a lot. The Titans have very rarely been favoured over that period. You very rarely had to lay points for them. They've covered just 11 of 26 when they're favoured. I've got to be with South here. Like I'm back in South. I can't believe you're getting points for them. I kind of thought that would be close to pick 'em. For mine, I thought especially with Latrell, White and Walker, Cook Spine, but the talent's there, and I thought they showed what they could do against who they bet for the bye, the Eels, but they smacked up. So I think we might be going to see a little South run here through this origin period where they get themselves off the bottom of the table. So I'll be the South fan.
I could not agree more. I think this is one of the games I was saying before that I think there's plenty of value, and I was genuinely surprised to see the Titans favourites. I know they've had a good run, but in that run, they've only won a couple of games. They've just been covering at a very good rate.
Covering big starts.
Big starts, exactly, yeah. I know they beat Broncos last game out, but South's at $2.10. They've won 8 straight, 9 of the last 10. Give me Souths all day in this game, please.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Bet for me, Alex Johnston to score a try at $1.62. Just with that. Oh, wow. It's just with that spine and with the fact that Mitchell, no origin. Walker, no origin. White, no. Gagai, no origin. This is, I said, it sets up very, very nicely for the Bunnies here, I think. So, yeah, and I think Alex Johnston will be having a field day. So if you want to, you can push the boat out a wee bit further. Johnson to score 2 or more tries.
You're a little bit surprised, Zach, if Gagai didn't get the origin call up this year, Paul?
What's that?
You're a little bit surprised Jacob Gagai didn't get the Origin call, then? You said Gagai didn't get picked for Origin this week.
Don't get
It sounds
Oh, sorry.
Do we have to send Paul to the doctor? I've got a couple of rare Hawaii errors here. Got me time for a cat scan.
Oh, jeez. Okay, Alex Johnson, 2 or more tries, 255. There we go. Oh, jeez.
What's been the bigger concern for you, Karl? The fact you thought the Dogs game was on a Sunday, the fact you thought Dan going to play for South, or the fact you did the grid on time? To me, it might be the fact you did the grid on time.
Yeah, no red numbers on the grid.
Right.
Big alarm bells.
If I do the grid on time, you know that something else has got to fall away. Oh, yeah. Go Teddy Tedeschi and the State of Oak.
The man's brain capacity is at max.
Oh, boy, there are a lot of moving parts at the moment, and I'll give you the tip.
Next one, Cowboys $1.60, Warriors $2.35. Warriors won 7 of the last 10 and 2 of the last 4 away. Pretty close games between these two. In the last 10, the average winning margin is 10 with 6 single-figure margins in that span. The Cowboys are 3.5-point favourites, but they have failed to cover the line in their last 7 games as favourites. Anything else, Teddy?
Yeah, couldn't find a lot in this game. But that is the absolute key for mine. There's absolutely zero chance with so many players backing up. I'll be jumping into the Cowboys as a short price favourite. Warriors have certainly improved over the last little bit. It's not a lot to push the Warriors. Like 4+ Dogs off a win, covering is 42%. So I don't love the Warriors. I'd rather be on the plus than the minus. No risk. But there is a bet in this game. I'll be backing the over, backing with a good deal of confidence. I think there's plenty of points in this. There's always plenty of points in Cowboys games. Well, except for last week when we steamed into the over 52.5 and they tallied 34 points, I think. But usually there's a lot of points in Cowboys games. We've got the normal side. 27-17 off a win, 13-6 on the home of scoring 20+. So the Warriors, though, it was a surprising over spot for them. They're not a team that scores a lot of points normally, but 63.9% the over. The team's off a bye who won prior to that bye. 4-1 when the Warriors off a bye, and the over 7-11 when New Zealand off scoring 24+. So I think there'll be enough points this over 48.5. I think it is. So
49.5.
49.5. Let's hope there's no little field goal that ruins me in that one. 49. But yeah, over 49.5. I think it's a bet.
Average total in the last 10 between these two, 44.
Yeah, very low.
Yeah.
The last 230 out of your.
Maybe this will talk into the Warriors a bit more, Teddy. Chance Nickel-Klokstad, Wade Egan, Adam Fanua-Blake, Kurt Capewell, and Tohu Harris all back.
Certainly, the team list certainly is a big push for the Warriors. And also, 0 players backing up off Origin.
Yeah.
Be, a huge number for the Cowboys. 6.
What do you like here, Paul?
Oh, give me the Waz. Yes.
Up the Waz.
They've got so many, as you just mentioned, that so many players coming back and critical players as well. I don't know if Harris DeVita and Tamari Martin have played together in the halves before, but the way that
they played the last game in the halves.
Before that.
Oh, well, they're 1 from 1. What else do you need? That's a stat. That is a stat.
100% record. But the way they've been playing, and I just love the way that Tamari's been taking the ball to the line, which he wasn't doing when Sean Johnson was around. I think it's lifted the whole team. Everyone's sort of picked up their own sort of performances, 1 or 2%. And that all adds up in the end, especially in those close games. So, yeah, I'm happy to take the Waz and the Waz plus the points.
I haven't got it in my betting this week because I haven't said it out loud, but I'm just kind of staying away from the Warriors betting at the moment, and that's why we're $1,000 up. But I think Marcelo Montoya at $2.30 anytime is value in this game. Since Tomato Martin's been in the halves, there's been a push more to go down the left than the right, or it's more balanced, but it's naturally balanced. It's not, we're talking before there's injuries, how we know it's going to the right, and it's just if they try and go to the left, it's too hard. I think
he does seem a naturally right to left player.
Just it seems more. They seem, I don't know. Marcelo Montoya 2.30. We might as well go through the rest of them. Here's Storm $1.20, Knights $4.60.
I think you missed the game there, Karl.
Broncos, Sharks.
Oh yeah, Broncos $1.48, Sharks $2.65. Broncos have won 9 of the last 11 against the Sharks and have covered the line in each of the last 4 following a loss. They are 6.5-point favourites. Teddy.
Yeah, no Nico Hines here. He will not play. He was not named, so that's probably tells you all you need to know why the betting is as it is. We don't know about the Broncos again. By beware, things happen during Origin. There's a lot of key players that will need to back up, but assuming they do, the Broncos 18-5 against the Spirit Suncorp of a loss, which is a huge number. 10-3 against the Spirit Suncorp of conceding 30 plus. The Sharks, good interstate team, they've covered 6 or 7 interstate, but they've covered 4 of their last 15 against top 5 teams. So we'll be backing the Broncos minus, backing the over hard here. The Sharks have turned, their defence has really gone south, and they've lost T. Wilton now as well. I would argue he's one of their better defenders. Some over angles here. 8-3, the Broncos, the last 11 at Suncorp. 5-1, the Broncos are off a bye. 5-0 when the Sharks play at night. And 11-6 when the Sharks are off conceding 32 plus. So I'm very keen on the over in this one.
There's a good chance the Sharks go from first the last couple of weeks. They could fall out of the top 4 this week.
That would be very sad for top 4 betters. So come on, Sharks. Fine.
Maybe the Sharks do stink, like you've said all season, Teddy.
Well, I don't know
predicted pre-season.
I don't know if I'll put it in such ignominious terms, but I certainly think they've benefited a lot from the draw, and they will benefit a lot from the draw running home. But I think they're hit on their few little tough periods here.
Broncos or Sharks, Paul?
Broncos. But not a game that I'm going to have a lot of interest in.
Yep. Storm $1.20, Knights $4.60. Melbourne have won 14 of the last 15 at Amy Park. Newcastle have covered the line in 8 of the last 10 as an underdog. Melbourne are 13.5-point favourites. I can't see it happening, Teddy. I think after last week's showing from the Knights, Melbourne win big here.
Maybe. The numbers kind of pushed that way. 13.5 is very big. There's a lot of outs for the Storm still. Like, Munson, Pap, like, they're pretty soundly beaten by Manly last week. I think the final score is probably closer than that match was. The numbers pushed for Melbourne, particularly in day games. They've covered 11 of the last 15 in the day. The Knights, they've covered 10 of the last 12 day games. They've been a good cover team of late for the most part. But the 8-11 against the Spirit against top 4 teams, and they've failed to cover their last 3 off scoring 2 or fewer. Probably lean to the minus.
Sorry, that's such a good stat. They've failed to cover their last 3 after scoring 2 or fewer.
Well, I could have said failure to score a try. I'm a bit tired.
What a shit team.
How far back do you have to go, though, for that?
That's only in the last 3 seasons, so.
Wow.
We could go back a lot further. There's one bet I do like in this game, and that's the over again. I'm finding way too many overs here to be confident. I do not like being an overs punter, but real good angle here. 63% when there's a 12.5 plus dog, rounds 13 to 18 in that Origin period the last 6 years. The Storm 22-9 when they're favoured by 12.5 plus the over, 13-2 the over in Melbourne day games. Over 3-1 when the Knights are big interstate underdogs. So, love the over in this one.
The Storm, we talked, I think it was the Raiders last week, so, they always bounce back. Ricky's got them always bouncing back. The Storm, Paul, another team you would imagine will bounce back in a big way.
I'm not so sure. I think they'll score a few points, but I think Newcastle will probably score a few points as well. So that 13.5 just it's just in that sort of zone where not really sure which way to lean. So I do like the overs. In fact, I hope the boys put out a try scoring bingo for the Sunday games for numbers 1 to 7, because I would love to have a little piece of that. So no bingo out at the moment.
To be fair, you thought there was 3 games on Sunday, so I'm sure you would love it.
Yeah, Monday doesn't count as Sunday.
I'll be writing in to complain.
Right, couple more to go. Panthers $1.35, Seagulls $3.20. Panthers are 8.5-point favourites. Another one who I feel like they will bounce back, Teddy.
Yeah, it is. Look, we'll start from the top. Like, you've got to be on Penrith when they're off a loss. They've covered 15 and 18 off a loss, 6 to 7 off a double-digit loss. Cleary doesn't usually play games with backups either. Like, if he's named the backup, he usually doesn't name if they're not going to back up. So I kind of expect, all things being equal, that these guys are going to play. The key's probably drawing a little way. But gee, they got beat pretty soundly by Manly a few weeks ago. Well, it wasn't, 9 weeks ago now. I've got to be a parent just off that loss factor. But 9.5, it's getting a big enough number that it's it's going to tip into Manly's favour soon if that gets to double digits. So I'll be with Penrith, assuming everyone backs up. So that's my starting position on this one.
What's your gut feel, Paul?
I think the Panthers bounce back big time here. Yeah. I don't really like Manly at the moment.
Nothing against you, Manly.
No. I just don't like the way that they're travelling at the moment. And I think we will see a wee bit of a backlash after a couple of subpar performances from the Panthers.
Yep. Last one. Monday.
It's a Monday game.
Monday game.
Monday.
Dogs $2.15. Eels $1.70. Pair have won 8 of the last 9 against the Dogs, and they've covered the line in each of the last 4 against the Dogs. Paul's got a hunch. I've got a hunch. The Dogs are the bet. Teddy, what do the stats say?
Dogs against Trent Barrett. Please, only one way to bet this one.
You can't use the Trent Barrett stat every week.
Even if I win, I'll still be rolling it out because I've got about 3 seasons for it to become irrelevant. I was surprised the Bulldogs were outsiders in this one. But the Bulldogs have been playing like a top 8 team. I know the Moses, Gutho factor, they were a different team last week. And particularly Moses, what he does for that team and getting him around the park is a huge lift. But the Bulldogs have been playing some really good football. They've really been getting touched up at all. They offer a very good win. They're at home. I thought they would have been marginal favourites. So I'll be on the Dogs. They played each other early in the season when Para were fully fit. I think round 1 maybe. And it was pretty close for most of the game. They got away late, the Eels. But the Dogs have come a long way since then, and the Eels have regressed significantly, including sacking their coach. So, yeah, I will be pretty happy to bet that. And just to get the stats correct, Trent Barrett 13 and 47 the last 3 years. 13 and 47. Now most of those were with Canterbury, so there might be a little bit of revenge factor on the mind there.
Yeah, it was 18-0 in the first 65 minutes of that round 1 game, and then Dogs scored 2 tries to 1 in the last 15 minutes.
And had no possession in that game.
20. There was 20-0, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, penalty goal too. Yes, 20-0. Sorry.
20-0.
Just had no possession in that game. And that was a game where Dogs fans I think the Eels were huge favourites in the game. And that was one where it's like, maybe there's a little something there. So.
Yeah, you're right. 60-40% position.
Yeah,
Blake Taft was playing fullback.
Yeah, but we were picking terrible teams.
Teddy's man.
I know you do not underestimate what Toby Sexton brings to this team. Now, no way am I saying Toby Sexton is a top-class halfback. I would say he's probably in the bottom 4 or 5 halfbacks in the comp. He's a halfback. So he gets the kicks away. He organises people properly. And is the kind of player who can see something to exploit it. There's no way the Bulldogs win if Drew Hutchison's running the show against the Knights. Like, Drew Hutchison probably is a 5'8" these days. That's a very slow running 5'8", but he's a good backup for Burton when Burton gets that 18th man again for Origins 2 and 3. It'd be a wonderful replacement for him, but I think having Toby Sexton is a big deal for the Dogs.
And with that, let's go to some betting. We've got $100 each week. I will start with Blake and Surly.
Oh,
I've got Surly's here.
yeah, okay.
So we've given him $200. Is that right? Or has he got 300 now? No, 200.
200.
Okay, so he's got 100 on Broncos, Storm, Warriors head-to-head at $4.17. 50 on the Wars 1 to 12 at $3.45. A second row special, Ali Katoa and David Fafita anytime, 20 on at $5.88. And then he's going to have a bet with Origin as well. Val Holmes, first half try scorer, $30 at $5.75. He's been listening.
Even though he can't.
No, he can't yet. That was Surly. This is Blake. Storm head-to-head. Eels minus 3.5. $60 on at $2.28. That seems dangerous. Tigers head-to-head, $3.05. He's got $20 on that. And then he has got, he's calling it a same game multi, but it absolutely is not. What? Oh, he's doing his doubles here. Okay. South to win, Alex Johnson anytime. Warriors to win, DWZ anytime. Multi those together, $20 on at $8.26.
He does like that, doesn't he? He does.
Teddy, what have you got?
All right, we're going to go 40 on the hammer. Anytime try scorer in Origin, $2.75. We're going to have a $20 double South and Canterbury at $4.51. And we are going to have, I think, around the $3.60 mark. We are going to have an over in the Broncos game into the over in the Storm game.
Nice. You're still
30
constructing.
on that. Last 30 on that.
Last 30 on that. I'll go. Give Paul some more time.
Well, I thought I should include a State of Origin bet, so.
Yeah. I'm going to steer clear of Origin. I'll let you guys handle that. I've got $40 on Souths, Brisbane and Melbourne, all head-to-head at $3.72. 25 on South 13 plus at $4.75. And then 35 on an alternate line multi. So Bunnies plus 8.5, Warriors plus 9.5, Broncos minus 2.5, and Storm minus 5.5 at $5.20. You ready, Paul?
Yeah. So $20. Now there's a little sort of, hold on a minute.
Excuse me?
It's a $20. I'm taking a $20 double, okay? But I'm not going to take it if the try scoring bingo is put up before the weekend. So,
which it will be.
If the try scoring bingo comes up, I'm going to take the Sunday games 1 to 7. I'm going to have $20 on that. If the boys don't put the try scoring bingo up, then I'm going to go David Armstrong to score a try into Isaac Tago to score a try. And that's at $6.69. But that's only if the try scoring bingos don't come up. If they do, I'm taking the Sunday games 1 to 7 to score.
Has he made that clear enough to you?
Right. I just want to make sure.
I really zoned out on that one. It's very complicated for a guy who thought a Monday game was on a Sunday.
He's committed to that. He's
okay. I'm also going to have I was going to have 80 on. I'm now going to have $60 on.
What is happening?
Well, because I've included some State of Origin. Okay. So I'm going to have 60 on the Bulldogs head-to-head against the Eels at $2.15. Into the Wars at $2.35. to beat the North Queensland Cowboys, into the Tigers plus 7.5. So 60 on that treble. And then if we go to State of Origin, I've got $20 left, Teddy.
You sure? You've got 300 left. I don't know.
I've got $20 there. And I was going to take a same game multi because we've got a promotion on the same game multi for State of Origin.
You were going to, or you are?
No, I'm going to.
Okay.
Jeepers creepers.
Unless they put up bingo, then we'll have to take it off.
We've lost it.
I'm taking either team to win by 10 or less in the State of Origin, into Valentine Holmes to score a try. I've got to have one more leg, bugger. I've got to have one more leg to qualify for the under 36.5 points. So there we go.
Sorry, punters.
It's great to do things really complicated on a podcast, Paul. It's really good for the listener.
Gets the listens back up. People got to go back and listen again.
What did he
It's
say?
our new strategy.
Is this a bet or is this not a bet?
Oh dear. Any other promos?
Same thing.
Same game claims.
Yeah. Well, they're bonus back, same
Bonus
game
back,
multis
sorry.
now. Yeah.
Sorry. New world.
It's a new world. It's a new day.
Have a hunch. Have a bet. That'll do us. Teddy, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
As always,
Great to be
love your
here.
wisdom.
Origin tonight and another weekend ahead.
Not a lot of sleep here tonight. It starts at supposed to start at 10 o'clock. Probably doesn't kick off till 11:30, but that's fine.
Well, if you're on
We'll get
Origin
through it.
bingo, there's nothing better than trying to find the over-under number on what time to kick off.
Yeah. It's overs. It doesn't matter
April,
what.
for you, 10, 16 and a half. That's the line.
Doesn't matter what the time is. Overs every year.
Every year.
Thank you, Paul. Despite what just happened.
Oh, gee.
And thank you, punters, for listening. We will be back next week to do it all again.